man that we're going to cast today. He's going to play against QQ Sharp, apparently a Diamond League Protoss player. So Ben, I think this gives us plenty of time to talk about the bracket.
Yeah, actually, it sure does. We're in the first opening seconds of this game. While that's happening, I will pull up the bracket and just scroll through it for you folks. Oh, wow, we're moving way too fast. I'm going to get to the top so we can start from the very, very, very tippy top. All right, 512 players going into this thing. This is the best of what Europe has to offer, guys. It's going to be a very competitive tournament. You got Wellmu right up there on top. We're just going to slowly go down through the list. These names will thin out in a hurry as we continue. There's Bishu, of course, second best Protoss player in the world. Goody, the Panzer General is here to play. Navi Minato is one that we're going to want to watch pretty closely. Yeah. Kevin's been talking this guy up a lot. I've not had the chance to see him play yet, but I do believe the hype, and I'm really eager to see how he does here in this qualifier. We'll definitely try to catch a few of his games as we get into the day. Roxkiss Live Zerg Night End is here as well. I've got Acer's Hydra in the mix. And we'll just continue to kind of scroll on through the list. I'm just shouting out the names of notables that I see along the way. Show is here as well. We got something happening in-game, so Kev's going to jump in.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the bracket later on as well, because of course it's a big bracket, as Ben already said. But let's take a look at the game for now. Perhaps Sharp wants to watch the VODs later, because he was already happy with the game lobby. He's like, oh, so many cool people in my little game lobby. So let's cast this game. BC already asked me before. He's like, hey Kev, what do you think? Mac these days against Protoss? I was like, well, I don't think you should be asking me, BC. I'm losing against everything, Mac or Bio, so it doesn't really matter. I'm very curious to see how he's going to play, though. BC is definitely one of the guys who performed, well, best is hard to say, but he performed very solid over the past 2-3 days in the WCS qualifiers. I think yesterday he made it to the quarterfinals.
Yep, he had a top 8 yesterday, a top 4 the day before. He's been very close both times. And, of course, BC's a guy that lived with us, so we're both cheering for him. We want to see him do well. We're going to try to follow his journey as much as we can here today, as there are a couple of small lag spikes. Hopefully nothing that the players can't deal with. BC just getting a good scout of Sharp. The Diamond League Protoss is base. Sharp is going to have his work cut out for him against BC, who has been for a long time one of the, I would say, top 5 Terrans in Europe.
Yep, he's super consistent, certainly in online tournaments and stuff. Never had a incredible, impressive LAN performance, though. That's something that he still lacks. For a while, I really think that he was amazing in Wings of Liberty. After that, I felt like he kind of took a small break, but it really seems like he's going back to practice right now, and these days pretty much going all out. And BC is one of those guys you want to see him in WCS EU. He won so many online tournaments. He deserves to be there. So hopefully he does make it. He's definitely one of the favorites today, but there are quite a few guys who stand out. BC is also on the bottom side of the grid. I should add that as well. A couple of other big names in the bottom side of the grid are, in my opinion, Targa and Bling as well. Bling, of course, had a magnificent run in day 1. So I'm curious to see, man, how it all unfolds. I can't wait.
Little Zealot Stalker pressure coming here from the front. Beastie has 5 Marines, which should be enough with just a little bit of micro to poke this away. He might lose an SCV, though. A little bit annoying. That's one of the risks you take when you expand on the low ground like that. Here come those Marines, and immediately he will usher Sharp out of his natural. Might even get the Zealot.
I want to say that Zealot took a risk as well, but actually it wasn't that much of a risk.
He's been to the edge, Kev.
Yeah. I mean, he just likes to live on the edge. He likes to tell a little tale. He's like to that stalker. He's like, man, you were gone already, but I was sticking in there. I made sure that SCV was double dead. You know, if you play Dota 2, like if you play the Windrunner, oh, the Zealot might still die. Yeah,
no.
The Zealot will die.
No.
Oh, that's so sad. BC is just following this up with some tech. He has both refineries up in his main base. I think in a game like this, BC is obviously never going to underestimate his opponent, because he wants to make sure that he doesn't take a silly loss in round 1. He would not be the first notable player to lose against an unknown in the WCS qualifiers. But I also don't think we should look too much into what BC is doing. He's probably just going to play a safe but aggressive style, and then he will be fine. What I want to say is, like, I thought it was really funny when you play Dota 2 and you have the Windrunner. You see, like, kill someone. He's like, if you weren't so dead, I'd shoot you again. When I heard that the first time, I started laughing so loud. I don't know why, but I found it really funny.
I think it's funny when she dies. Why do you hate gingers?
Really?
Yes. Here comes Beastie with a little Marine push, and there's not a whole lot there with that single sentry, though, and with the threat of Time Warp. I don't think Beastie's going to commit to this. He is just going to back off immediately. So far, Sharp's doing everything right, man, and I guess this is something that is typical of a Diamond League player. They're going to play everything perfectly up until a point, and then that's where you're going to see the separation. So far, Sharp has been on he's been on cue, man. He's been doing everything correct. Beasty
has more workers than Beasty as well in this phase of the game, and I really like, at least what I want to say, I really like how he was keeping his observer on the left side of his base for a little bit. Now he's going to send over his first observer already, while not making an additional observer yet. So this is already a little bit scary, Ben, because if Beasty is going for a drop, he has absolutely no vision here. His entire army is standing in the natural. No worries, guys. This is something I did for the first 4,000 games I played. Keep all my army in the natural and then complain about Terran drops because I had no units in my main. Later on as well, you realize it has everything to do with vision.
Beasty.
Right now we can see that vision, vision is definitely something that Beasty has. And here we go.
And Sharp's about to get a tough lesson in why you have to leave some units at home. Couple of Hellbats being unloaded in the main, and a very slow reaction from our Protoss. He's going to lose quite a few probes. 10 dying immediately. 12 now the count. And Beasty's just going to pick up and get out of there. Should be able to. Oh, there's the boost. As he does boost away to safety. At the same time, something moving in the natural. What is it? 2 more Hellbats. And
no, don't move your probes like that. Don't do that.
And Beasty picks up a couple more probe kills. 17 is the total now. We were talking to Fuser about the Terran metagame. He actually flew back to Finland yesterday.
Yeah, Fuser, guys, we're going to talk more about this later on as well, because we're definitely going to cast some Fuser games. But Ben, I've seen a lot of ladder tilts in my life. I get pretty mad over StarCraft, but Fuser yesterday took it to a whole new level.
That's right, man. He was playing in the WCS qualifiers with lag, playing on the Europe server from California, so he had some delay. He lost his game.
Said V2 many times.
Yes, V2.
I woke up to the sound of V2 from another room.
Which, of course, means shucks in Finnish.
No, it means like, oh gosh.
I feel like I've made a miscalculation.
Yes. Well, we have another Hellbat drop going down in the natural while I was following the Warp Prism. These Hellbats will be able to take out even more probes. We'll see what these Zealots will be able to achieve, but probably not all that much. There was even a Widow Mine in the natural as well. Of course, there's a drop in the main. Beasty is just killing pretty much every single probe that's out on the map.
Yes, he is. Beasty is so fast, guys. One of the best multitaskers in European StarCraft, cruising along at an average of 300 APM, and he's putting it all to really good use. Sharp down to just 7 workers.
This is really frustrating.
6 workers, 5 workers, 4 workers for Sharp, as Beasty continues to just spread him thin. Sharp did an okay job of trying to do some counter-harass, managing to get those Zealots unloaded in Beasty's base, but Beasty, being the great player that he is, deals with it easily.
Beasty lost a little bit of mining time. Sharp lost all of his workers. Not a very fair trade, man.
Yep, not a fair trade, but that's just kind of how it is when you're dealing with these Hellbat drops. But anyway, the whole point we were kind of starting to talk about when we talked about Fuser was that he's been telling us how this is what all the Terrans are doing in the European meta. Everybody's going Hellbat drop and then transitioning into a multitude of different follow-ups, but Hellbat drop is a very standard, very safe, very solid way to play it.
Sharp.
A single probe remains for Sharp, and no, not the last probe. Beasty is merciless. Sharp has 75 minerals and no hopes here.
I've been in this position so many times when I just started playing StarCraft. It's like, yeah, maybe.
I got this one last army. Maybe I just hallucinate one more Colossus. Oh, gosh, I don't think it's going to work, though. GG gets called. Sharp, of course, showed us some good play, but this is what happens when you pit somebody that's not quite at that high level against somebody who's a very established pro.